Alright, so I know you're probably thinking, well, Brian, what are you doing? Fire. Fire. It's good. Fire. So, yeah, got this mystery motor here. What's going on with it? You know, it's a really good question. Don't really know yet. We're going to take the cam out of this guy. Got some surprises coming for the channel a little later. Got some friends going to stop by. We're going to do some things. And got some cool surprises. So, got to get to work wrenching on this little guy. Get to jam the cam and got to pull some motor mounts off. But first, to get the cam out, I got to take this timing cover off. Take this timing cover off, I got to pull this harmonic balancer. So, this motor came with pack 660 springs and some heads. They're already off. Nothing to yanking some heads off, but got to get this thing to about 300 degrees, and somebody be like, dude, you're gonna run the seal on the timing cover. Well, probably gonna put a new seal in it anyway, because it's one of those things when you're this far along, you just do that, or I do. So I don't necessarily want to go get a puller, have to pull this stupid thing off. So I'm gonna heat this bad boy up, and it'll just slide right off like butter. Done this a few times, works every time, just like the last time. So I just keep the heat kind of right there in between the two, going around in a circle. It's a little cold today, it's rainy. But got a big announcement coming later on today, this afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some big changes coming. Duke is about done. Got to work on the tuning table, on the fuel table. Got to tune the fuel table a tad. And we're going to wrap Duke up a little bit. It's been a fun build. And yeah. So I'm going to stop rambling and do this and get this thing yanked off. And hopefully, I don't know if that's going to be enough yet or not. We'll see. Not yet, but it moves pretty easy, as you can see. So it says a 4853. I haven't really looked at everything to determine exactly what it is yet, but I was told it was a 5.3, so maybe a 4.8. We'll see. All I got to do is measure the piston, and that'll tell us, I think. But I can't remember if the 4.8 just has a shorter stroke and the same bore, or if, I know it's a different stroke because the 4.8 crank is different than the 5.3, the 6.0, and the 6.2 in the LS version. But stuff starts to get a little confusing after a while, and it's just a lot to it all. So this is a Gen 3, I know that for sure. It's got flat top pistons. It may be a 4.8, but anyway, not real worried about that at all. Let's see what that does now. Never want that fire. Never play with fire, guys. Now when this comes off, I'm going to go flying probably, because I'm pulling on it pretty hard. It doesn't want to let loose yet. It's probably rusted on there pretty good. I don't think it's set in the water, but there is rust in there that I see down in the bolt hole for the crank snout. So who knows? But I have WD-40'd the cylinder walls up pretty good. I've put a valve pan, I put an oil pan on it. it's just going to set for a while. So get some heat in that bad boy right there. Yeah. That. Ladies and gents, here we go. So I'm going to show y'all how I did this. I got this puller. I had to beat this in from O'Reilly. So I used the old trusty heated up move, but that didn't work. So from Duke, I had the old seatbelt bolt. So I used the old seatbelt bolt right there. That's what that is, a star head. And this is a small 3-jaw puller. There's the size of my hand so you guys can get a reference. Now, I used the first hole right there, not the second hole, and I pushed them all the way forward. I came around the inside of the tab. Not the outside tab up here, but the inside tab, and kind of forced the last one through so you can see how it grabs a hold there. Now, it's actually coming off. I grabbed the impact, and I'll set y'all back in there and you can watch this thing pop off. But I heated that thing up for 5 minutes a couple times, and it just would not go. So I got tired of messing with it. Went to O'Reilly's, used their tool. And the reason that I used that bolt is because you can see it stayed right there. Now, bolt's probably not any good anymore, but my crank is fine. Actually, I think it's just fine. Yeah. That's kind of crazy looking at the camera on the other side. I move it the opposite direction. Anyway, I'm done. But I use that bolt right in the crank snout just like that. Push that in there. It's about that easy. So you can see how I got the puller set up right there. I grabbed the inside tabs and it was rusted on there, guys. So that's why I see now why it did not come off. There is a layer of rust. So I don't know that I'm excited about this motor. It tells me it's been setting out more than I would desire, but the tool got me in business. Oh yeah. Yep, there's quite a bit of rust there, guys. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but it's taken me like 4 hours to get this stupid thing off, so I've had enough. I'm tired of it today, and I'm gonna get this puller out of here. Hopefully I won't have to beat it out like I beat it in. I did put a little lube on the tool foam. Yeah, let's see this struggle. The struggle bus today has been real. So, remember I told y'all where I put it? So, it was rather tricky to get in, and I had to beat it in a tad. And it's hung again. So, I'm going to kind of do this. And see. Man, that was not easy to do, guys, but I guarantee you that's the only way I was getting it off today. I may end up just taking that. I mean, sometimes that's just how you gotta do it, you know? But, anyway, got it done. So, there you go, guys. There is a way to do it with the O'Reilly's puller, tool puller, without having to buy that high dollar OEM. Got it done. 3 jaws. It's the medium sized puller. I'll show you the box in which it's in real fast. Here is the box. It's the 3 jaw 5 ton. from O'Reilly. Go rent that bad boy. And it'll do the job for you if you can't heat it off with the old heat gun. I even pounded on it with the hammer. And you can definitely see that guy's got some rust on it. But anyway, now on with the show. Let's get the rest of this thing apart and get that cam out of there. So, sound good? It is raining cats and dogs today. So, anyway, I got the door shut, but that harmonic balancer is now off and it's going to the parts bin. These guys are only supposed to be tight down to like 18 foot-pounds, guys. They're a little tighter than 18 foot-pounds. Don't hold me to that number. Don't crucify me and be like, oh, Ryan said 18 foot-pounds. I haven't checked. I'll take it like 18. But I am not 100% certain on that. I got this thing so hot, I've probably fried that seal. I do wish this thing went a little faster. Had a pretty good tornado today. I think that's what the radio's saying. Yeah, tornado. What am I doing? I'm staying safe. For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's that. There is definitely that. Well, there's that. Sometimes you just do it that way. I know better than to just do this because I still have to get this oil pump. Probably going to throw that away. It looks pretty toast. These are all 10 mils, guys. And this is all GM right here. There's no windage tray on this thing, so it's just got the bolt. I'm gonna leave that right there. Cam bolts are pretty dirty. Let's see if I can wiggle that off. Voila, just like that, folks. And she pretty boy cam will come out of there. I'm gonna grab a clean paper towel. It's a lot easier taking one of these out. with all of this open. Oh, come on. Alright. Grab a bolt. Grab a bolt, grab a bolt. Oh yeah, cam cover. There's that. And don't forget the cam cover. You'll spend all day trying to get it out without that. Cam cover. I like to put a new gasket on there sometimes. Now, geez, that's nasty, guys. But, you know, I'm just simply gonna try to walk this thing out carefully. Hopefully the cam bearings don't come out with it. And you can usually just kind of turn the lobes until you can get a handle on it. And usually they'll just walk right out. Yeah, just like that. And it is, as says, Texas Speed custom cam. 290, 229, 237, 600, 114. I'll be dang. Alright, cool. He told me it was a custom ground cam. And, sure enough, it sure is. So, you know, and I don't know what the final end date of this thing is going to end up being, whether it'll stay this right here or turbo or whatever, I don't know. We'll discuss that later, but that is literally all there is to get a cam out, guys. There's a little bit of rust on this thing. It's been open for a while, but I mean, kind of see some of it right there, but this cam's had a little bit of use, not a whole lot. All the lobes still look good. I gotta look it over. But there you go, guys. So, I don't even think I'm going to look at the cam bearings. I'm not going to. Nope, I am not. I'm just going to simply button this thing back up. Slippery little sucker. This thing is pretty dirty, but it's alright. It's gonna just sit over there and live its life. I don't know where this thing will finally end up at, or what cam it'll get back in it, but it ain't getting that one back. So that is literally all there is to jamming all this in, folks. Not bad. I don't know, I'll probably clean that gear and just leave it wrapped right around there. You know, I'm kind of a guy that I don't really like to reuse old pumps at all. So I'm going to set this guy over there. Because while you're here, it's better to just... I usually go with a milling. I mean, everybody's a little different, but that's just what I like. I don't always use the high volume milling because there is a difference, but I'm sure some of you probably have some debated topics on that. I guess the weather's still pretty bad out there. It's always nice when you see grunge coming out of this screw hole, bolt hole. I'm like, wow, some nice grunge. This motor didn't have lifters in it or nothing, so I don't have to take those out, of course. Remember, you got your 2 pan bolts. You got a ton of these. Not a ton, but anyway, they're 10 mil. And I'm just going to go back in, snug them down, just to keep all these parts on the same motors, keep them all together, so that I basically know where they're at, covered up. And I got the cam, I've got the heads. So those springs on the heads over there, they're 706s. You know, it's supposed to be trash 706s, but we'll see what happens. I bet some people might be surprised. But anyway, this motor being flat top pistons, being as dirty as it is, it's gotta be trash. They didn't even use a new gasket when they put that cam in. It's kind of funny. And you know, these are supposed to be properly aligned when you put them back on, guys. Don't forget about that. I am not lining it up. I'm just simply jamming bolts back in because nothing about this motor is anywhere near ready to go. And they make a fancy little tool so that these covers don't leak. I can already tell you, this right here would leak. It's pretty off, but I don't care. Don't care. So I just kind of snugged everything up there, and we're going to cover this little dude up, throw some WD-40, call it good, guys.